Macedonia is a fascinating, still mostly unexplored country with a stunning natural beauty and a captivating blend of cultures that are influenced by both Balkan and Mediterranean cultures. Numerous historical sites may be found all around the country, which has been ruled by the Romans, Ottomans, Serbs, and Soviets at various points in its history. Old monasteries and fortified hilltops are some of Macedonia's major tourist destinations. Numerous of its cities are home to charming old bazaars that stretch back to Ottoman times, along with mosques, Orthodox churches, and outstanding archaeological sites. Keep on watching to find which tourist attraction would make you fall head over heels. Number 1. SKOPJE. The capital and largest city of North Macedonia is Skopje, which is undeniably a destination worth visiting while visiting. It serves as an academic, political, and cultural hub of the nation. This city is known for its diverse nightlife, architecture, culture, vegetation, and fauna. The city also boasts stunning new monuments created in recent years by leading international artists. An enormous, flashy statue of Alexander the Great, for instance, has been dominating Macedonia Square since it was installed in 2011. Every nook of the streets will provide a surprise when you explore them. In locations like Stone Bridge, the Church of St. Spas, the Kale Fortress, Old Turkish Bazaar, and Mother Teresa Memorial House, the railway station, and many others, the past is still evident. There's also the Vardar River, which is the largest river in North Macedonia, which runs through Skopje, about traveling 60 kilometers from its source in Gostivar. The greatest protected area and well-liked vacation spot, Mount Vodno, is located inside the municipal borders. Its peak is connected to the city center by cable car, and its wooded areas are lined with several footpaths. Finally, we have Matka Canyon, one of the many major natural areas. The Matka Canyon offers a variety of unique experiences thanks to its diversified endemic wildlife, gorgeous lakes, ancient monasteries, caves, valleys, and hiking trails. Number 2. ARID. ARID, the largest town on Lake ARID and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is proud of its extraordinary past and heritage. The epicenter of religion and Slavic culture, Jerusalem of the Balkans earns its nickname from its 365 churches and monasteries. The frescoes in St. Sophia Church, the ancient theater, St. Clement Church, and Tsar Samuel's Fortress, which offers an amazing perspective of the city and the lake, are at the top of the list. There's also the world's oldest Slav monastery, St. Panteleimon, which boasts beautiful brickwork and has been painstakingly maintained. It is charmingly placed on the lake's edge, but Lake ARID is what truly distinguishes the city as a historical monument. Since it is one of Europe's oldest and deepest lakes and is 3 million years old, ARID enjoys the distinction of being designated as a culture and natural UNESCO World Heritage Site. The lake itself is an incredible work of art. Sit down, ideally on a grassy slope overlooking it, and take a look at all its various moods. Number 3. St. Nam Monastery. You can reach St. Nam, an outstanding monastery from the 10th century that is perched on a rocky protrusion above the lake. After a 30-minute drive from ARID, it's mostly well known for its superb frescoes, but it's also a tranquil and reviving location. Here are some of the finest religious artworks in the entire Balkans. A great location can be reached by road or boat where you may spend the day. You can take a boat excursion on the Black Drim River Springs, see the charming St. Nam Monastery, sample delectable cuisine in a restaurant, and relax in parks with lush grass and sand. You'll adore the expansive lake vistas as well. If you have time, a rowboat journey along the Drim River is definitely a must. Visit one of the islands for dinner to cap off the day. This is the ideal site to wrap up your trip to Macedonia because it captures so much of what makes the country extraordinary. Number 4. The Museum on the Water. The Bay of Bones, also known as the Museum on the Water, is an archaeological complex at the Ploka Makov Common Excavation Site and on the ARID coast close to the Grandice and Pistani. Bay of Bones, one of the most popular day trips from ARID to Macedonia, is an accurate replica of the Pile House settlement. The initial prehistoric settlement, which existed between 1200 and 700 BC, had an area of 8,500 square meters. One of the largest prehistoric palafittes was built above water at this time because of the ARID lake, which was relatively shallow. The settlement's partial reproduction of the Bay of Bones offers both locals and visitors a rare opportunity to learn about prehistoric life. You will become entirely absorbed while taking in breathtaking views and the unmatched setting of this bizarre archaeological site, losing track of everything else. Number 5. Stroga. Another town that adds to the distinctive Macedonian experience is Stroga, which is situated on the shore of Lake Ohrid in the country's southwest, about 14 kilometers near Ohrid. Many locations to explore, cultures to learn about, and scenery to take in, traditional meals, pleasant and calm coffee shops, and restaurants with a lovely view of the lake are then offered. From Ohrid, a trip to Stroga is a fantastic one-day excursion. The village, often known as the City of Poetry, is tranquil and lovely to meander through. Denisnad Makedonja Seraga, the country's anthem, was composed by Struga-born poet Vlado Milevski. In fact, the town itself hosted the first public singing of the national song. You can visit the Old Bazaar's bustling market and look for some awesome Macedonia trinkets. There is also the St. George Church and the Helvati Teke, which you can visit. Finish up with a stroll down Goce Delce Street to see some well-preserved medieval homes that are also enjoyable. Number 6. Mavrovo National Park. With approximately 730 square kilometers of woods, gorges, waterfalls, and karst fields, National Park Mavrovo is Macedonia's largest winter resort and the ideal location for skiing. Mount Korab, the nation's tallest peak at 2,764 meters, is also visible. No matter what time of the year you go, the trip is well worth it for the breathtaking views and the fresh air at high altitude. If you don't fancy skiing, then you should visit it during the summer. It is an ideal site to stop as you travel between Lake Ohrid and SKOPJE, since it is a magnificent kaleidoscope of canyons, pine forests, karst fields, and waterfalls. Monastery, cheese producers, and charming villages like Jane and Galenik, famous for their customary village wedding festival, are one of the silliest summer events in the nation, and they can be found all within the park's boundaries. There is also wildlife, such as bears, lynx, wolves, and deer, as well as 123 different kinds of birds, many of which are unique to these highlands and rolling woodlands. Number 7. Prilep. Prilep is a city in the Republic of Macedonia that is situated in the country's southwest, in the region known as the Pelagonia Valley. It is 128 kilometers southwest of Skopje, the country's national capital, and it is accessible through the main A3 highway. Because of its proximity to the towers the fabled hero, King Marco, it is referred to as the city beneath Marco's towers. On May 7, 1975, the city received the Order of the People's Hero of Yugoslavia, making it one of just 8 cities in the SFR Yugoslavia to receive this honor. In addition, 14 persons from Prilep and the surrounding area serve as the order's bearers. Prilep is famous for a few unique things, but agriculturally speaking, it is considered Macedonia's tobacco capital. One of the traditional cultures that thrives in the environment of Macedonia is tobacco. The tobacco from Prilep is processed at the factories of many of the biggest cigarette producers in the world. Number 8. Bitola. Bitola, an old Ottoman town known as the City of Consuls, is regarded as a diplomatic center for the area. The Republic of North Macedonia's second largest city was established as Heraclea Lyncestis by Philip II of Macedon in the middle of the 4th century BC, making it one of the nation's oldest cities. The city and Salonika were Ottoman Rumelia's 2 capital cities during that time. The finest words to describe it are elegant and refined. The area is filled with vibrant 18th century homes and Turkish mosques. Observing people come and go while drinking espresso along the Ikak Sokak, also known as the Wide Street, is a must-do activity that is done frequently by tourists and locals alike. Macedonians love Bitola for its European atmosphere and cafe culture. In this lovely city, explore the Yeni Mosque, the Old Bazaar, the Dibaj Imam Turkish Bath, and the Isaac Beg Mosque. Number 9. Stobi. Stobi is the home to one of the most significant archaeological sites in the nation. In the center of Macedonia is the archaeological site of Stobi. This ancient city, which is surprisingly underappreciated, served as the administrative, commercial, and strategic center of the Roman province called Macedonia Salutaris. The city, which was first established in the 7th century by the king of Paeonia, was afterward. Stobi soon developed into a hub for traders going from Danube in Serbia to the Aegean Sea in Greece, thanks to this advantageous location along the ancient Roman trade route. This enormous excavation site is now filled with partially restored buildings that are packed closely enough to inspire your imagination. The village itself is only 1 hour's drive from Skopje, and the dig site is open every day. Number 10. Creshevo. Surrounded by the impeccable nature and sensing the altitude even as you breathe in the air, Creshevo is like straight out of a fairy tale. It's a natural parallel to a private resort, if you will. The town is one of the oldest in the area, as seen by the architecture. It was first settled in the 15th century by a first wave of Vlach immigrants, and as the decades passed, its remoteness helped preserve a great deal of history. The town itself is a heritage, slow to adapt, and restless to change. In fact, there are still stone-paved streets, homes that still have the original architecture, monuments, and churches that all contribute to the cultural impression you get the moment you step foot here. Of course, there are a lot of places to visit. The most popular one is the monument Macedonium, which is also known as Yidden Memoria. Built in 1974 by Jordan Grabelovski and Ishka Grabelovski, the Macedonium is the Macedonian symbol of statehood and modernist expression of freedom. With a country full of cultural and historical attractions, as well as numerous hubs of attractions, which of these places will you head to first? Also, check out this other video if you want to go to Antigua and Barbuda. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more of our top 10 prime picks.